Washington Redskins rookie season is finished. Now going into his sophomore season there in the National Football League. When you talk about a great player, great leader at the University of Alabama, two-time national champ at the University of Alabama from Carver High School there in Montgomery. Shaun Dion Hamilton, I hope all is well. Thank you again for joining me this afternoon.
Hey, Ron. Thanks for having me, man. All is going well.
I'm glad to be able to catch up with you, and we're going to talk a lot of different things and just talk about how are you getting away from football, because finally you've got an off season to kind of not relax, but as you said on the Twitter account a couple of weeks ago, just to work on your craft to become a better player.
Oh man, it's awesome. In college, you're constantly grinding, 24/7. You don't get much off time, things like that. Which all college programs are, and now you get a few months off, and it's just important, that guys are staying in shape and keep eating right and things like that, not putting on any bad weight. And for me, two years of back-to-back injuries. Now, just finally happy, a healthy season, just ready to get back to work.
Shaun, now you're talking about trying not to put on any bad weight. You're going to ignore that this weekend, right? You're going to be able to knock out some good Super Bowl food, I assume.
Oh yeah.
What's a go-to dish? What's a go-to dish for Shaun Dion Hamilton?
I'll probably say a little bit of rotel dip and some wings and some pizza. I'm gonna be very ecstatic.
Yeah. Now, Shaun, you've lived all of your life in the state of Alabama, right? You spent the majority of your life here in the state, right?
Right.
I was reading something earlier. We've been kind of making fun of it. Marquise and I, we've never even heard of this, but we were talking about the number one popular snack, Super Bowl snack in the state of Alabama is white chicken chili. Have you ever been to a Super Bowl party that had white chicken chili?
Yeah, I actually saw that on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely false, because I've never been to a Super Bowl party in my 23 years where I've ever seen or tasted white chicken chili, whatever it's called.
Yeah, we were the same way. We were the same way. Wings, pizza, burgers, hot dogs, things like that. Shaun, what has been the things that when we talk about transitioning from an SEC linebacker, a standout linebacker for the University of Alabama, and also transitioning in the NFL, what's been the challenges for you?
I would probably say, just mentally, for 16 weeks, of the season, just being able to lock in every week, reading your scouting report and, learning, the NFL, I tell people the NFL season, is longer than the college season, but the difference is it's like every week is a national championship game where you're going against top level competition. So, you gotta find a way how to, mentally prepare, get your body prepared, things like that, week in, week out.
How much fun is it to go through that process with a lot of friends that here from the University of Alabama? It's kind of like Alabama North there for the Washington Redskins with all your former teammates and guys that have played here at the University of Alabama.
It's extremely fun. I tell people, from the very first time I walked into the football facility, I felt at home. I was walking down the stairs and I run into Ari, and then I get into the locker room, I see Ryan, and of course Payne and I are walking in at the same time. So, and Cam, it's just been unbelievable. We're always hanging out at each other's houses and things like that. So, it's made this whole process really fun.
What is the number one thing that you miss about being around Nick Saban?
Number one thing, I would probably say possibly it's so much that I miss about him, but probably like his pregame speeches and things like that. He would have you thinking that you can literally run through a brick wall.
Yeah, I would imagine his pregame speeches are intense. Does he go like do it? What can you give us an example of what a pregame speech is like for Nick Saban?
It's just like you can just like feel it like through your veins. Like it's crazy. Like he gets you like so fired up and I just have you like electric and just ready to do whatever you got to do. And that's kind of like the same like mindset that all of us have. When we're up there, like you find us like saying a lot of quotes that he used to say to us now we find ourselves like telling each other that at practice and before the games and things like that.
What's your favorite go-to Nick Saban quote?
I would probably say, "So what? Now what?"
So what? Now what? Okay. Now we don't like to use the word on the radio, but we always like to say "make his butt quit." We love that one from Nick Saban.
Yeah.
That's our favorite. I like that one from Nick Saban.
Oh yeah. I would probably say John. If I got $1 for every time John Allen walks around saying that, I'll probably have a lot of money.
So make his blank quits. What Jonathan Allen always tells us.
Oh yeah, he's definitely carrying that mindset up there in Virginia.
Good deal.
Most definitely.
But now, what is the daily activities of an NFL player compared to the college game? Because I think a lot of us see Sunday afternoon, but it's a lot to get ready. What has maybe been the overwhelming part for you? Or maybe it was easier because you played in a system that's very similar. I mean, we call it the 33rd NFL franchise here in Tuscaloosa. I mean, maybe it made it easier. Was there a big transition phase, or was it just football as usual? Or was there something overwhelming to you?
I'll probably say something that I didn't know is that you could like actually be at the football complex like so long, like going to work from 8 to 4 or 8 to 5, like a regular person goes to work. Like I didn't know like that's what football would be like. I mean, you have like 8 to 5 days. I mean, where you have you got practice, you got meetings before like early in the morning, and you have meetings like after practice. So I mean, that's something I didn't expect. It's different in college. I mean, basically in college, like you have classes that keep you away from the facility. You don't have that in the NFL, so you have like more meetings and walkthroughs and things like that.
Shaun, is there a time or a moment? You're a 2-time national champ. You were part of one of the greatest dynasties this sport's ever seen. Is there a time when you or Allen or Payne or anybody is sitting around Alabama guys and you guys reflect on something that happened here, a moment in time that stands above the rest? I mean, everything is great when you're in Tuscaloosa, but is there a moment of time that you look back and you go, man, that's my favorite moment in T-Town?
I would probably say I'm kind of like Coach Saban, man. Believe it or not, you think about all the good times and, winning the championship, blah, blah, blah. But I remember Coach Saban told us one thing that kind of stuck with me about you really remember the times. Rather than remembering the championship you win, you remember the times you didn't win. So I'll probably say the moment that still is stuck with me that I always think about before every game for some reason still is the feeling I had after we lost against Clemson back in, 16? It was my junior year. For some reason, and believe it or not, all of us talk about that moment. We probably talk about the Clemson game more than we talk about the game we won. Honestly.
So you mean you talk about the loss more than you talk about the wins?
Yeah.
I mean, the great ones do that. I mean, Nick Saban says it all the time. He goes, I hate to lose more than I like to win. I've heard it 100 times from Nick Saban.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. I mean, I was actually, watching some highlights, a while back ago. Well, actually, probably a few days before the Clemson game. And, I just had my veins going. I mean, just had chills going through my body because, I remember for a fact how things ended, where I was, like everything. That's something I'll never forget.
Yeah, I remember you and Eddie Jackson on the sidelines down in Tampa.
We were. I still remember we were on the 10-yard line.
And you were screaming something. You remember what you were screaming?
No, I don't even remember. I don't even want to know what I was.
You and Eddie Jackson were screaming, watch the pick play on the final play. I heard it. You were trying to communicate to your teammates because you guys spotted something that it looked like that it was going to be a pick play. And you guys, it may have been Eddie more than you, but it was you guys were screaming at your teammates, watch the pick, watch the pick, watch the pick play. And certainly it was there.
Yeah, that game definitely, I don't think I ever get over that game, honestly. Especially when you got to line up every Sunday and, see Deshaun Watson doing his thing. And that's all you gonna ever think about, man. I mean, then you got fans like always saying, you and Eddie would have played and blah blah blah. So that's the feeling that I'll never forget. But hey, I mean, some people didn't get a chance to even make it to the never made it to the national championship game before though. So it's a good feeling though.
What do you think these players are going through right now? We're about 3.5 weeks removed from another loss, and this one has to burn even more because it was a different way of losing. What do you think is going through these players' mind right now as they're trying to get ready? Well, they're currently in the fourth quarter program with Scott Cochran, leading up to 15 days of spring practice.
I hope they're ready to get back to work because I was pretty pissed off, watching the game. So I hope that loss song really bad for them and that they're ready to do whatever they got to do to get that sour taste out of their mouth, especially the way things went down. So
what were you mad at? What ticked you off the most?
I'd probably say just the game, just the whole game. I mean, nobody has ever seen Coach Saban get beat like that before. So I mean, just how lopsided it was. I mean, Coach Saban always preaches, 4 or 5 plays to determine the game. And that was definitely the fact, in the Clemson game. I mean, 4 or 5 plays really, really determined the game.
Shaun, I'm going to ask you about Scott Cochran. How important is Scott Cochran to this program?
He's probably right up under Nick Saban in the program. I mean, he's the man behind the scenes where people just see the productivity on Saturday, but they don't know how it is, Monday through Thursday, how he's motivating us and getting us pumped up and excited and ready to practice. I mean, that's a big role that big task that he has to do, for 12, 13 weeks to get 18 to 22 years old, pumped up and focused and ready to practice every day, keeping us mentally, keeping us as healthy as possible. I mean, he does a really good job. I don't think, him and Jeff Allen get enough of credit for, what they do to make sure our guys are being able to play at the top level, for 12 to 15 weeks.
Shaun, will you make your off-season home here in Tuscaloosa? Are you going to go back to Montgomery? Where will you make your off-season home?
Oh yeah, I've been training in Tuscaloosa or whatever during the week, and then I come home to Montgomery on the weekend.
I got you. A lot of the former Alabama players return to Tuscaloosa. Why is that? Is it just a great facility? I mean, it's just like being around the culture. What is it about? Because I notice a lot of NFL guys come back to T-Town to train.
Like you said, the culture, the open door policy we have there. I mean, where we have the best trainers in the world. You got every single weight equipment that you can think of, and I mean, that's home. Then I'm a strong believer of, remember what helped you get to where you're at now. So Alabama really helped me get to where I'm at now. So they'll always be a home to me.
Shaun Dion Hamilton, thank you again for spending some time with us. Who do you have in the Super Bowl? Who are you leaning with? You don't have to give us a prediction, but maybe a lean in this game. Who's going to win the game?
I've been a Pats fan my whole life, so I'm around with Belichick and Brady.
I got you. And Mr. Dante Hightower, we'll see if he can get ring number 3. I mean, that guy owns like a jewelry store from his days in Tuscaloosa and his days in the NFL. I mean, he's got like a part-time jewelry store.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Shaun, I appreciate you, man. You were always top-notch class here in Tuscaloosa. I appreciate the way that you represent the University of Alabama. Thank you again for being a part of the show.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me.